Hello everybody and welcome to watch this new tutorial of this new project template, DZ Golf Course template Georgia. This is a whole project we're giving to you, so you don't add this asset back to your own project, but first you have to open this whole project and then migrate to your own project and so on. But you will see everything as it is. Okay, when you have downloaded the package, you will have this digit assets folder, and then under it digit common, digit golf course, and digit trees. And under the golf course, you will find maps, and then you double click this only map, and you will find yourself probably here at the 12th hole. And this is what you're gonna get. You will see that there is grass everywhere, and those who know the course, know that this course is, I think, 16 holes is just one big fairway. Of course, there are these rough areas, mulch areas, tree areas. Inside, big fairway and some rough area, but it's a little bit more difficult course to model. This is one 8K landscape, but we have deleted the unnecessary parts. And of course, if you're doing a simulation, you will make another low resolution landscape and spawn some trees there. You will get nice longer views also. But this is the main landscape. Okay, so there is fairway grass, there is rough grass, no grass in greens. We didn't see it's very wise to put grass into greens. It's better looking this way. And nice edges around the bunkers. There is also bunker lips. And these bunkers are in fairway, which is a kind of speciality of this course also. This is in rough. This 12th hole, this 12th green, and the 13th green also has bunkers in rough. But almost all the other bunkers are in fairway areas. And so we have two kind of bunker lips and to take care of that. And then we have also this kind of water hazards and so on. So we can fly around a little bit. This is running at 4K, an epic resolution now in editor. Of course, we will release demo videos that are being recorded in the play mode and so on. But and when then the flag is going to, swinging in the wind. Now it's, but it is a cloud simulated flag. So when the wind direction changes, also the flag will go to the different directions, which is nice. We have falling leaves, as you can see, flying. This is like early autumn or something. Okay, then you have flowers, you have trees, you have bushes, everything you need to create this Georgia type of golf course. And if I press G button, you will see that everything, almost everything, has been made by using splines, and PCG graphs. And you create spline, and we will in the later tutorials explain the logic. You create splines very fast, in seconds or in minutes, depending on if the spline is going around all this stuff. It takes a little bit while to draw it, but then everything is handled automatically, and you can only change parameters in the PCG graphs, and you will get the result you want to have. Okay, So this is an overview tutorial. We go through what this package includes, and then in later tutorials, two tutorials to explain how you can use this template to make the golf course very fast and an easy way. Okay, I like to be here in the aiming corner. This is my favorite part. Oh, sorry, aiming corner maybe says something about the course, but anyhow, let's go quickly what there is in the outliner. Some decals. We have used decals to create these tee boxes in the fairway area because they're normally using the fairway, so we wanted to, then be somehow that they're somehow seen and differs from the other fairway area. But then when the tee box is in the rough, like here, then it just uses the fairway kind of grass and also the texture under the grass. Also, these divots are made by decals, but they are not here because they are made by PCG graph and so on, and that's why they are in a different folder. But decals is that lighting. We have a little bit more intensity in the directional lighting because we wanted to make a little bit more natural kind of lighting. So your maybe textures need to be a little bit darker, but I think the lighting is nice. So some tweaks in the post process volume, nothing special. So that's about it. Nothing special there. And then there is this PCG folder. We have, as you can see, quite many. I think it's 14 or something. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, anyhow. And then there is these folders that these PCG graphs generate. That generates those divot marks, and they generate many things like trees and not trees. These are falling leaves, but they are made in the trees. PCG graph. T positions. It's possible to change the T positions. It will. We have a randomization there. You can just change the seed value in PCG graph, and T boxes change places, and also the same kind of randomization function made for the pin positions. So every time if you're using this template in simulation, it's easily made to change the pin positions and T positions every time you play. So the course will be different, which is nice. So bunker lips is down there. Electric wires. I think it's nice you to know that even if this is a golf course template, you will have this kind of nice electric poles, and all the wires are connected nicely and the poles are straight, standing straight. Of course, you can do some variations to these also if you want. Also, this road, this is a very wide road. This is not a normal golf road, but this is about the size it is in this golf course. So it's also done by the PCG graphs. And the landscape is hidden underneath the road, so the landscape will not pop out even from how far of the distance you're looking at the road. It's keeping it's staying nice. There is no jet fighting or anything like that. Okay, and as you can see, there is grass everywhere. Of course, what is worth mentioning that I have split this golf course grass PCG into two parts: fairway and grassy. And grass is fairway and grass is golf. If you take this off, you don't have uh, grass in fairways. Maybe for some computers it's too much to handle, so you have that option because maybe you just want to have grass in rough areas or in just semi-rough and rough. But if you want to take them off, it doesn't work from here because these are also the only two that has been partitioned because your engine doesn't need to load into memory all the grasses and this size of landscape has. So it's been partitioned, and when you close this icon, then you can see no more 3D grass, and so it's through this actor that you take it off, or just if you don't want to see it, or you do want to see it. Okay, and now there is no rough grass, and now it is back again, and you can see there's also wind in rough, wind effect. So still a little place to get some boost to performance, but I don't think this is not too many meters this effect, but I think it looks nice when you're close. It's very nice. Okay, so there is crosses, hazards, road, T-position, trees, etc. Okay, done by PCG graphs, and these are generated. The folders where PCG generates things, decals or anything, but these come automatically. And also, it's worth noticing that all these are not, PCG can work. It normally works at runtime, so we don't want them updating all the time. If you have this much blinds in your landscape, I think it's better if all our PCG is using all these blinds and stuff. It's better to just adjust your PCG graphs to generate on demand and other thing, generate PCG volume in editor. You disable this checkbox and you choose this option, generate on demand. So when you want to update the graph, you just generate it again. Only exception is this flag position. There you also have to, like I have noticed, the written here, clean up. It means first clean up and then generate. There are some instructions also in the PCG graphs. Read them. The little bit there are some commenting in those graphs, but it's very important that you first clean up because the logic requires it. Others it doesn't work correctly. Maybe you don't see it at first, but please clean up. Also, it starts changing the T positions a little bit also because changes things. So clean up first and then generate. And if you want to change the pin positions, there open the graph and there is in comments you can see only one seed value and then you will have new pin positions, sorry, in all the greens. Okay, let's move forward. And here is the only RVT texture. It's been used for masking the landscape, hiding the landscape underneath the road. That's about it. Here are all the splines. If you see, watch this and watch tag bunker splines. This time because they are in fairway, many bunkers they mostly have this bunker underscore fairway FW bunker underscore FW, and then we go forward. This is the 12th hole when we know they are then in the rough, and that's why it no longer has this underscore. FW. Okay, electric wires have wires tag, fairway has fairway tag, fence has fence tag, bush, flower bush line. It's kind of making bushes in line like this. And what you can see, there are many. So, but it's simple. You create splines where there is everything, and more about this in the other tutorial where we show how you create courses. Then static meshes. Not all is placed like the bridges and some trees I have wanted to place manually. So the things placed manually are here under the static meshes. T markers, it means that we have placed blueprint actor, this spline line. You adjust the direction and the length of it, and then those T markers will be automatically positioned as well as those divot marks. Okay. Water, we have used normal water body lakes and rivers in this. And here is one lake template, here is one river template. We have modified the material a little, so we have created in the different name, so that you will have a little bit darker water and not kind of tropic blue, which will fit much better this package. Here is one river, and in the 15th, 16th hole, you can see there are a few other lake areas. Okay, no, well, they're not lakes, but anyhow, little water areas. Then we have wind. There are two wind controllers. One is the Epic's own, the Unreal Engine's own wind direction source. The flags are using that because they have using the skeletal mesh cloud animation. So here you adjust its strength, speed, and direction by just rotating this. And then you want to match the trees and grasses and bushes and all with this wind, or you just match the wind with the foliage. You gave the same rotation value and then wind strength. This is a little bit different value, but then all the foliage and all the flags are swaying to the same direction. And this flag really changes the direction when you change the wind direction. So when if you use this as a call in your golf simulation, when you are here teeing up, you will see the flag and where it's pointing, so you will know where you aim your shot. Okay, that's about it. What's in this level? So much more you to know. That's why I have split this into 3 tutorials. Let's go through the content. Then, like I said before, under the content folder you have digit assets folder and then digit common. It only has this MPC wind control, which is used by this blueprint wind controller, which you just place into your project and you're ready to start adjusting all the digit assets wind. It's common in all digit assets. That's why it's in common folder or under the common folder. And then we have this digit golf course folder, which is the I think the main folder for this template. And under it we have blueprints for your T markers and the skeletal flag and how we do the golf hole, the green, and also the golf ball. If you want to use the golf ball, these have the right mass, right colliders, everything. And falling leaves is also here. So all this landscape and all the assets, all the static meshes have physics. So and the ball will react very nicely when if you are in the green or in the rough or in the mulch area or in the you hit to the tree, the ball is acting quite nicely. So this is a good template to start your own golf simulation or some other simulation, whatever. Okay, then we have those decals. So they were made, there's materials and material instances, and for these hazard lines, red and uh, yellow and red, sorry. And then we have also out, but we have not out poles or lines here in this course, but you can have them. And then there's for those epoxies and divots. Okay, we already gone through that. Landscape layers, 7 layers. E layer is a little bit special because there is 3 textures you can use in that. It's like kind of the outer areas. We have used 2 kind of mulch textures here and then 1 mulch texture 2 times in a different size and a little bit different tint to get the effect. But it means you can have meadow areas, forest areas, and some other area in 1 layer, which kind of adds this to the almost 9 layers or so. But we are using only 1 layer, which makes this more efficient. Okay, and so then we have this material, and no, we can check it fast. So it has all these material function, these layers here, and they are blended with high blend, and also here are the physics output and everything. This is the master material, and then its instance, and there we have first blends between these layers, and then all the layers have many settings. And in the E layer we have more texture slots and some specialities also in the sand layer G. You have a normal texture, at least 1 more or something. But they have they're almost the same, but something more in the E and G. And you can see you can have this kind of mow lines. You will have this kind of, there is some card marks here or what tracks, and then there is everywhere there is some kind of micro or macro variation at least, which makes this look nice and not generate repeating textures. And also the 3D crosses are having, you see, the 3D cross also have these mow lines, and they're using exactly the same variation textures. So you have card tracks here or something or mow lines, everything is in 3D cross also, and you can use any satellite image also. If you want to use an overlay satellite image, all the layers and all the grasses you can have, you can use your whole golf course satellite image as an overlay blend to your landscape textures and to your 3D cross. So I know the golf simulation guide because I haven't done courses myself also in the past. I know what they want. Okay, let's move forward. Maps, 1 map, sorry, here, and then those layer infos, which uh, as default are written here under the maps. Okay, nothing special in here. Then master materials and instances. Of course, now a little bit more because there are not only trees or not only grass, there are some objects and so on. So that makes a little bit 21. But of course, there's instances also, the master instances. Material functions a little bit more. All this is used for give you wind and variation and wetness and everything to make your project look like real life. And then material instances for the message. I don't think it's necessary to go all this through. Maybe it's better to just watch the message. There are bushes, and then course objects. A little bit dark. I don't think you see too much, but for example, this is the bridge. Okay. You can see there's flag, the flag pole and flags and balls and bunker lips and fence bars and electric pole and whatever. Hazard markers, cup, T markers, stone wall parts and whatever, water drum, and then there is grass. I put some extra grass here, not only the used one, and random leaves and single leaves you to use. And they are the ones that are here. When there is forest, there are always some leaves, and you can see that it's moving. But if we have used only few masked leaves, they are not moving, so they are still very efficient, and they're here and there only. They're a little bit nicer, but they're not moving. But now you can see even those in the ground are moving, and and when there is these falling leaves moving and the ground leaves a little bit swaying in the wind, I think it adds quite real, nice realism to this level. Okay. Then Niagara, these are all different falling leaves. They're using sprites, those they are very efficient, and then we use PCG and Blueprint Actor to so that there are many different leaves coming down to the ground. Okay, and here are the PCG graphs, 14 pieces of them. We have not used this digit crosses landscape. This is quite the same as was in the digit crosses pack. I have wanted you to have this, and that's why you also have some extra crosses, because this landscape is basically so special because it has this kind of mulch area, and there is no meadow area with longer grass and so on. So I wanted to give you that option, those grasses, and this option that this uses this E layer here at the outer area, but you can also use one big volume and so on. So it's up to you what you want to do. But you don't, basically, I think you don't need this, but it's a good option to have also. But you'll see, we already saw what these are doing. There are fences, there are those electric wires and bunker lips. This is Epic's own. Must mention that discard points in pumpy areas. This is used for finding right kind of places for the pin. So we have a nice kind of logic that we do not spawn the golf hole too close to the edge of the green. Maybe now it's only 2 meters, but you can adjust it yourself because this green is so small that's why we it was 3 meters our first plan, but now it's adjusted to no closer than 2 meters from the edge of the green. And then we have found the places that do not have too much slope and that are not pumpy, not too pumpy. They must be quite, how do you say it, flat. They have to be flat, but they can have a little bit slope, very little, and quite flat places to find. So this works. And you can debug the PCG graph to see the places it could spawn, and there are many places. And when you compare them to the, for example, this course, places where you see it in the television, and you can find out that they're quite same places that this automated PCG graph finds as well, the same places. So it's working well. It's working very well. Sorry, sorry my English. I try to go this fast, so it's a little bit hard for me. I'm from Finland. English doesn't come very naturally. Sorry. Uh, then we have physics materials for landscape layers, a little bit weak for the very whole area, but and then some other golf ball, hard, medium, soft, very hard for to give different kind of bounce from different objects. Okay, and then textures, bushes, decals, grass, landscape. This is the forest floor, grass, rocks, sand. We a little bit modified the sand texture from the grasses back just to work better in our landscape material. Textures for different objects. Some other also the overlay image, which is you can put on in every layer. This landscape needs to be positioned in the 0, 0 coordinate. You can adjust the Z value, but not X and Y axis. It works the right way if you have it in the 0, 0 position, the landscape. Then RVT for hiding the landscape, then some single leaves, and these template textures. And here is basically the DChat golf course template, but also here under the trees, there's all trees are new, using the same kind of materials, or or same, maybe a little bit different name, and material functions than the DChat trees assets. But like you see, these are new. This citrus tree is opaque, so they are fully geometric models. The Nanite works best with those. Then there are material instances for large bushes and loblolly pines, and the meshes are here. The citrus trees, fully geometric versions, 31 of them, and the 31st was for the 18th hole. There is a little bit different tree, and I wanted to create a little bit different kind of tree for that hole. So, but anyhow, 31 real nice deciduous trees. The leaves are modeled. Of course, they are not modeled too accurately that they're still performant, but they're looking like this. And there are three different leaf kinds, but I think they're good. And like you see, these loblolly pine needles are also modeled. Maybe they are not, when you look closely, not so nice as the previous, but these are working nicely, no matter if you're in them or whatever. So, and they keep their shape well in the distance because loblolly pines have quite big needles, so they're looking nice. They're working well. So loblollies, 10 pieces of them, and then large bushes, 10 pieces of them. And like you see, there is a little bit dark, but you can do all the modifications in the here in the material instances if you want to use this kind of autumn colors. They're all adjustable. It doesn't have to be like this. These are like normal. These are using some autumn color, fall color in America, and then there is some that has larger bushes that have white flowers, and then the rest also have red. You can see them here. And then you can see that when you add flowers, they were in the they were not under the trees. They are here in the under the golf course pack. But anyhow, these are using changing color. When you spawn these, it will also always fade to these kind of colors. They're using a different large overlay texture than so they're always different. It can be like this color or orange or whatever. No, not whatever. They're using the texture and but anyhow, always fades to the different color through white and stuff. It's I think it's working nicely. So you will have every time you spawn those flower beds, you will have a little bit or flower lines as I call them. You will have a little bit different kind of result, like you see here. I think you don't need to have many flowers. You use your wisdom and you can easily you just draw one spline around this and save and put the tag flowers and there you have it. This is all done in seconds and I'm not even exaggerating this. It's the truth very nicely. And these I wanted to add some more immersion here is using one spline and then it's a little bit more randomized and here and there those but it's using one spline to give this. Of course there are randomly also here in the course but it's not using this one line spline. Okay, I think we have gone through almost everything. Then there are physics materials for leaves, needles, and trunk branches, and textures for parks, leaves, needles, others, and template. So here it is. In the next two tutorials, we will go through how we can make the golf course like this or any kind of golf course by using this template. So hope you enjoyed. Thank you very much for watching and see you in the next tutorial. Bye bye.